Hi, I'm just going to read a little bit of Say It Isn't So, Joe, the first book in the Haunted and Harassed Paranormal Mystery series that I will be signing at Turns and Tales in Chatham on Saturday. So without any further ado, here is chapter 1. A chill crept down my spine when I saw my cat jerk awake at a sound I didn't hear. She was staring down the hallway behind me at something I hoped I couldn't see even before I turned to look over my shoulder. She stayed frozen, her neck craned to hold her head high, staring at the space behind me. They say cats can see and hear things that are beyond the perception of mere humans, things like ghosts, for instance. It was all kinds of creepy. It's even creepier when your cat is a ghost herself. I steeled my resolve and looked over my shoulder, having to stretch as high as I could to see over the back of the couch, given my short stature. I more than half expected to see the light blue glow of a ghost behind me. Hey, it's happened before. What are you looking at? My husband Bass, short for Sebastian, was looking at me quizzically. Is Magic down there? Yes, he knew about the ghost cat named Magic who had died at a ripe old feline age of 21 half a year ago. I pointed to her spot on the couch where she had always slept when she was alive. She's right there, I told my lucky non-ghost seeing husband. Then what are you looking at down there, Carmen? His voice held a bit of trepidation as he looked down the hall without having to crane his neck to see the entirety of it, because he is freakishly tall. I narrowed my hazel eyes at him. I'm not seeing anything, I explained testily, but Magic seems to think there's something down there. Allow me to backtrack a bit. My name is Carmen Rodriguez, and I recently discovered that I can see ghosts. Well, two ghosts to be exact. Our deceased tortoiseshell cat Magic, who seems content to hang around her old haunts, if you'll forgive the pun, and the elderly ghost of the former owner of our house. I shuddered as I thought back to when I first realized I could see both Magic and the ghost of Joe Caruso on the same night a couple of months ago. Magic had appeared at the foot of my bed, hissing and growling at something in the corner, which had turned out to be Joe. He refused to leave us alone until we helped him find a family heirloom hidden in the house we were in the process of renovating. Unfortunately, he was at the time unable to remember where he had hidden the item, or even what it was that he was determined that we find. In order to get us to look for the mystery item, he basically made a nuisance of himself, popping up when we least expected him and giving the term jump scare new meaning for us, complaining about every change we had made to his house up to that point, and basically criticizing anything he felt like picking apart. We even had to ban him from the bathroom after he entered as I was getting out of the shower, which resulted in an inordinate amount of screaming and shrieking that I am still not proud of. While seeming to enjoy driving us crazy, he made it clear that he could, or more likely would, not move on to whatever awaits us after we've, in the words of the bard, shuffled off our mortal coil, until his missing item had been found. Since Joe's unfinished business had been concluded successfully when we found his heirloom, a gorgeous and rare diamond necklace, secreted away in a cardboard tube in the wall, we had been enjoying a blissful couple of months of peace without anyone nagging us about the changes we were making to the house, as Joe had been apt to do. The only ghost I was seeing now was, of course, the cat. However, the fact that he could not see his beloved cat vexed my husband to no end. He was currently frowning at Magic's spot, his handsome face scrunched up in consternation, his chocolatey brown eyes sad. I think we should adopt a cat, he declared as he ran a hand through his more salt than pepper hair, sounding like a little boy begging for a puppy rather than a 60-year-old retired adult man. That got my attention. We agreed it would be better to be pet-free and travel while we're still fit and healthy enough to do it, I reminded him. I cringed inwardly when I recognized my tone of voice as the one I had often used in an attempt to reason with our daughter when she was young. That was before you got your cat, he answered, pointing to Magic's spot. I opted not to tell him that the cat had just left her spot in order to check out the hallway. She is our cat. It sounded lame even as I said it. That only you can see. Well, when he put it that way, it really didn't seem fair. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look. Yes! Bass leapt from his seat and handed me his tablet. On the screen was a photo of a cat that looked exactly like Magic, before she had turned up glowing blue, that is. I sighed. I suppose we could go look at... Baz grabbed the tablet out of my hand. Great, we have an appointment this afternoon. I narrowed my eyes at him in mock anger. What if I had said it wasn't a good idea? He grinned and pulled me out of my seat and into his arms. I know my wife. As we got into our small SUV to drive to the animal shelter, I was surprised to hear the distinctive chirp of a cat from the back seat. I turned in my seat to check out the sound. Well, that's a first, I observed dryly. What? Bass asked as he fastened his seatbelt. Apparently magic is coming with, I told him. He instinctively looked at the back seat in the rearview mirror, then covered the fruitless action by backing our car out of the garage. No way, she hated the car. I shrugged, making my brown locks of short hair fall into my face. I guess things are a little less scary once you've died, I deadpanned, brushing my hair away and quickly fastening the seatbelt as the car started to chime a warning. As we drove away, I muttered, "This ought to be interesting," under my breath. And that was the first chapter of Say It Isn't So, Joe. And I hope it's whet your appetite for the rest of the book. And I hope to see you on Saturday. Bye.